All right, let's see. Hope that's better. Well, I'm gonna do this. I really got a choice on where to sit you. I'll sit y'all there. Oh. See if anybody comes in. Live chat. I don't know who's in there. Hey, what's up, sis? Hey, Danielle, I'm outside in the back. Okay, my doctor's office called. I'm sorry about that. Hopefully, it'll come back up. I hope I came back up, y'all. Okay, everything should come. Hey, Rochelle, what's up? Hope everybody stays in here. My doctor's office called. I'm gonna prop y'all up here. We gotta prop it. I'm in the garden. My doctor's office called, and I had to take that call, but it kept my live going. So hopefully Daniela realized the live is still going, cause she was in here. She might have had to shut off and come back in, but I had gotten a phone call, so they set me up a virtual doctor's appointment so I can get my refills. Cause Shannon is not going anywhere into the petri dish. They can tell y'all whatever they want. I'm high risk. I got 3 health issues: diabetes, blood pressure, and I got a blood clotting disorder. I'm so cool, and my lung is still not the best lung from when I had the blood clot years ago. Well, the 2 different blood clots. Well, hold on, possibly 3 different blood clots. So I'm cool. I'll show y'all the garden in a little bit. I've got how many more planters I got to do? I got one, two, three, 4 planters still here. I gotta top this one off. I've transplanted some stuff, but I'll show y'all what's popped. Tomorrow is my go out to the petri dish day, so I'm gonna go out and I need to get some more soil and I need to get some more tomato cages. And the soil that I originally bought, I was buying from Home Depot, or excuse me, from Walmart, which was actually a good soil, but you need to amend it because it was a garden soil, so I need to amend it for pots, and I didn't because I just was on my budget. But Ace has a really good above ground or what they call raised bed mix that I like. Actually, I'm probably gonna go get some more. And they got it on sale, so I'm gonna go get more of it. Um, but yeah, right now I'm gonna fill these beds up, and I went with what I got, and I'll give y'all a tour here in a second. Gardening is not your friend. It's about a. Yesterday was nice. We had a breeze going, so it was actually nice yesterday. But I hope y'all are doing good. We'll talk about something here in a minute. Let me see who all comes in. You only got a couple people in here. Let me see who's in. Uh, hey Regina. I don't know if Danielle came back in. Danielle, I hope you came back in. We got beat. Y'all give me a like, thumbs up, share. I'll show y'all the garden in a minute. Uh, Preferably y'all doing all right. Y'all can see my head because I'm sitting down on a folding chair. Regina Danielle left a folding chair, so I'll bring it out. Eventually, I'm gonna get one of them garden chairs or those, them outdoor chairs people use when they go to sporting events. I'm gonna get one of those. I'm gonna show y'all. Well, let me show y'all now because I'm gonna be talking about stuff. You know me. I'm gonna talk about things that I talk about. Hold on. Let me show y'all. Let me show y'all what's going on garden wise. Let's see. And my doctor's office called, so I hope Danielle realized. Okay, the tower I got to work on. I only got a couple things. The beans aren't doing good, and that's because of the soil. It doesn't retain moisture good, so I'm gonna be working on that either today or tomorrow. So what happened? I got a garden soil that's not meant for above ground beds. Your above ground beds need to have a moisture retentive quality, and garden soil dries out quicker, which I found that out. So you have to water more frequently, and it doesn't retain moisture as well. So I'm working on that. Um, but here's what we got. The tomato plants are doing pretty good. There were two in each one except for this one, although there's something popping right there. And I'm thinking that's another one of these because I think I put two seeds in each one to see who's viable, or it's a marigold. If it's a marigold, it's great. This has got some carrots in there, but I don't know how they're gonna do. That is a lemon cucumber. There were two of them. I just transplanted one of them over, and I'll show you that in a minute because I just realized there were two. This was a delicata squash. There were two in there, and I just moved one of them. The corns could be two in a square foot area. This is marigold, and I transplanted that tomato over. And that's one of them. I didn't even name them. I just transplanted them because I know it's going to be a tomato plant. He'll match one of those, and I'll figure him out. Let's go. All right. And then here, you guys notice I put landscape cloth up. I need to get something like, I don't know, some bricks or blocks and put a border up because it keeps kicking that out. And I want to put a border where it keeps the wood chips in. That little tomato plant, we'll see how he does. He was one of the other ones, and I decided just to move him early because he was a baby. And we'll see if he pops back. If he does, he does. If he doesn't, he doesn't. There's a big one over there. That's a transplant from over there. That was one of the duplicates. That's an English cucumber. Um, Now he just got transplanted, so I don't know if he's gonna come back or not. We'll put some more water in there with him and see. When they get transplanted in this heat, it's like help, I'm dying. So I don't know, but there's a big one over there. It's either a cucumber or squash. This is doing good over here. These are peas, corn, and marigolds. Um, I don't know what that is. I think that's the striped bell pepper, which is what I'm hoping it is. Um, but I had planted three things in there, which was lettuce, okra, striped bell. Now I put some new okra seeds in there because I don't think the okra came up. I think that's the. Oh, I ain't seen you. Oh, so y'all done come and visit. I ain't had no birds, and the birds coming now. They coming to hang out. Um. Anyway, I know that's that. And here, what are you? I think that's a butternut squash. Pretty sure that's a butternut squash. I don't think nothing else came up in there. There were three things in there, and only one thing came up. I think that's butternut squash. Anyway, so we know we're gonna get tomatoes. Oh, I got some lettuce. Of all my lettuce, only two lettuce leaves popped. I don't know what they are. Some type of probably romaine. Oh, y'all. Here, I'm gonna put y'all back on the fence. Hold on. Turn y'all around. Let me see who all's in here. Whew. Hold on, y'all. Try to see who all's in here. Oh, Danielle came back. Did she come back in here? Rochelle, Danielle. Okay, we got some other people in here, but ain't nobody talking, so that's fine. Anyway, that's the garden. Hope y'all can see it okay. But yeah, it's not work from home. I started this garden, which I was really happy. So yeah, it's been like my second month work from home. So I think it did good. I did what's called direct sowing, which means I put the seeds in the dirt and just let them deal with out here, deal with the elements. It's warming up here in Arizona, so it's really starting to take off. I'm going to probably be planting some more stuff. Unfortunately, it's going to be a late plant, but we'll see how it does. Because Arizona, our summers, they go, it can be hot here in Arizona for months. So the lady next door, she be out here coughing. And it depends on the wind, because Shannon will take her buddy in. Honey, them droplets. Look, look. I am definitely. I ain't gonna say I'm scared, but I am dang sure alert. I don't think we should walk in fear, but I do think we should walk in wisdom and being alert. So the lady next door, she be up here hacking alone. And especially when her and the babies be out here, I take myself right back in the house. Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna try to put y'all down lower and see if that helps. Hold on. So y'all gonna see me working on this bag. So I got. Okay, here we go. So I gotta. Uh, I'm gonna put one in the middle here. I can get him from both sides. So I'm gonna put one of these in the middle. These are what's called and I'm gonna recommend these. They're called grow bags, and apparently from my research, they're really good for your roots, because the roots will air wick, so the growth is better. From a lot of the gardeners I've been following online. Now this is garden soil, so I put about 3 of these big buckets at the bottom. I'm gonna do one more because I didn't get a full bucket. There we go. And I'll get my scissors for this bag. This bag, I'm gonna go buy 2 or 3 more of these. These are actually pretty good. From Whitney Farms. And it comes with a lot of the fertilizer in it, but I do need to go pick up some new fertilizer. Y'all know I'm gonna talk about something. Whew, my big butt is bending in this heat. Um, so I'm gonna talk about something I saw on Facebook yesterday. And for those of you, oh, we got some new subscribers. Welcome to the channel. Um, I am gonna have to work on doing finding some way of exercising. I don't know if I need to buy myself a little treadmill because I don't like walking out here. And Arizona's hot. But I gotta find some kind of form of exercise. I don't know if I'm about a treadmill or a bike. I used to love riding bikes when I was younger. But I might buy like a stationary bike and something in the house, or something I could bring out here. Um, so something where I can do some exercise. And I just really, right now, I just need to walk. That's gonna help with the weight. Diet's already starting to change because I'm home. So y'all saw, I don't know if y'all saw the picture. I did the vegetarian tacos, but see, all that needs to go. And get my breathing back because I breathe hard. Don't matter what I do. This is another reason I got off the truck. Um, so let's go over some stuff. I yesterday I was watching a video, and first of all, I want to say condolences to that man. There was a man got on there, and he's talking about his son died due to COVID-19, but not in the way everybody else died. So of course that leaves you to watch the video further because you're like, oh my God, is there some new symptoms we ain't heard? Because we've now heard of the new offshoot virus that's hurting kids where they're getting that rash, and some of them are going into cardiac arrest, and a whole bunch of stuff. And some kids have actually died from what they think is COVID-like symptoms or some other respiratory virus that's coming out at this time. If y'all have not seen that and you have children, I would strongly suggest you go watch it. You can see it. I'm an NBC watcher, and you can see it on NBC. Um, hold on, y'all. Get this water. Y'all ain't gonna see me, but I'm talking, so y'all should be able to hear me. Um, Watering down this other plant here. Watering it down. Um, so what I'm gonna tell y'all should be able to, like I said, this way. So the gentleman was on Facebook. This is an Anglo gentleman. And if y'all know Anglo means he was white. And here's his story. I'm just going to give you the summation. If I can find a way to link it, I'll link it to the bottom of the description if I can go find it on Facebook again. It was in my video feed. And when I saw it, I keep myself alert. I have friends with children, and so like I said, I'm a person who likes to kind of keep my mind active. So unlike my dad, everybody who wants to not deal with the issues and they watching TV, playing games, and not being alert of what's going on. I'm very much alert because you need to know. Um, I'm watching this video, and the video he says that his kid uh, said that his kid was impacted by COVID. Now he doesn't tell you he died, but I knew he died, and as the conversation goes on, I also know that it's a suicide issue. Okay, right off the bat, before he even says suicide, I knew that's what we were dealing with. Okay, I'm gonna put that there. Let that get some water in that dirt, so I can run in the dirt and get some water. Um, I knew by what I was hearing that this was gonna be a an issue with a suicide. Okay, so that was very obvious from jump. The man proceeded to talk about his son. So a lot of what we do sometimes when people die, and I'm gonna say this, we do this when people die. We want to make them more glorious than what they were. Okay, we want to make them perfect. We want to make them nice and good-hearted and sweet people. I've been to funerals where people were complete buttholes, kind of like my father. I hate to say that, I'm just going to go there. That they were malicious, conniving, vindictive, evil, mean, self centered, liars, cheats, criminals. And we, when they die, make them seem like they was Jesus walking on water. I've been to funerals, and you sit there and go, is that the same person in the casket that I knew? I'm sorry. I don't mean to be new. I don't mean to be mean. But you be sitting there like have kind of look around and go, are they talking about the same person I knew? Come on, y'all. Everybody, if you've been to a funeral, you've been to that funeral where you like, are they talking about Johnny? Because Johnny was a jerk. And you like sitting there like in question mode, like this person was a complete jerk. But when they die, we make them seem like I said, like they was Jesus walking on water. They was a miracle worker, and yeah, I'm good. So in this video, he went on about his son, and he talked about what a good kid he was, and the social aspects that his kid should have worn my hat. I might go and get my hat. That his kid basically was this great kid. He had not done any harm. He was talented. He talked about how he was good on this game called Fortnite on the computer, and he was proud of him because he could play Fortnite on a computer. Well, he talks about how his kid was, liked at school, and how during this time, these kids, they missed their friends at school, yada, yada, yada. So I'm thinking, well, maybe, kid got depressed. And I can understand that due to being quarantined. To me, that's not COVID. That's just the fact you got to stay your butt at home. But also, that also is a rearing issue to me. Again, I know some of y'all, you ain't got kids. I did raise two brothers for a good chunk of their life, the early period. Um, Combining some dirt, y'all. Combining some dirt. So the man goes on and he tells us that his son, he felt, died of COVID because he had been only able to sit in a room pretty much. I mean, he doesn't say this directly, and play video games. And the son, he had gotten him a special monitor, and the son got upset Y'all gotta hear this. Broke the monitor. He got upset in the game and broke the monitor. So the son goes to the father and the mom, and you know, the father says, "Hey, we can't get mad like that. There's better ways to handle your temper." Yada yada yada. Now that's parenting. I'll give him that. I'll give him that. That's parenting. There's better ways to handle your temper, and you can't just get out here, flip, dip, and skip about the broken monitor. Okay? And you can't get out here and just get angry. This chair is hot. So he proceeds to say that the son got angry because the monitor, because he broke the monitor and he needed a replacement monitor. Sorry, I gotta be y'all. Um, and he wanted a replacement monitor. Man, this damn thing. Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna get my hat. Hold on. Whew. B and my hat. Where's my hat? Whew. Okay. I need the bee to pollinate. I don't need him to be pollinating me. All right. So he tells the story of the son, and his son is such a good kid. Yada yada yada. And the son basically got upset, threw the remote or whatever at the monitor and broke the monitor. So he told his son, "No, we're not gonna replace." Y'all see me? Whew, we're not gonna replace this monitor. We're not doing that. He said, "I'm gonna stop so I can tell the story. We ain't gonna replace this monitor. We're gonna, right now, you need to learn that basically you can't just destroy stuff and think that mama and daddy gonna basically replace it." I mean, he doesn't say it like that, but that's pretty much what he's saying. Again, good parenting. So a little time goes by, and the son, is depressed and goes back to him and say, "I really won't do this again." Yada yada yada. So he says, "Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Sister, you're not gonna have whatever attitude this is you got going on with your sister. This is gonna cease. And if I see things are good, then we possibly can invest in another monitor." So the son did what he agreed to. He worked around the house, did chores, and the last day he says that his father came by to help him with their well. So they somewhere in the country. And him, his son, everybody social distancing. They go out there and they work on whatever's going on with the with the well. He gets some. Okay, y'all. Sorry, it stopped. So I have to reconnect it. So anyway, the kid picking up trash. Daddy gets him a new monitor. Okay. So the father, I hope y'all caught that. He gets him a new monitor. Um, he goes, they help out. Grandpa, dad fix the well. They help with the well. Okay. So I'm gonna go over this with y'all because it's crazy. They fix the well. Uh, Daddy and Grandpa fix the well, and the kid. He hugs Grandpa. He hugs Dad. He goes up to his room and gets on the game and start playing the Fortnite. Well, something happened in between him playing the Fortnite, Grandpa leaving, Daddy going outside to do something, and the mama went to the store. And the sister comes out a little bit later, says, "Dad, you need to come up." Whatever the brother's name is, he hung himself. When the dad goes in the room, he sees that the monitor's broken again. So His presumption is that COVID killed his son. God forgive me. Just insanity. Take ownership for your broken people, okay? And God bless them. I feel sorry for the kid. There's something going on deeper. COVID killed your son because he was quarantined at home, and in your mind, had he been in school or been out with friends, he wouldn't have got so distraught about breaking the monitor that he would have hung himself. So it's COVID's reason that your son is dead. I have not had the best life for part of my life. I'm gonna say this. My childhood was jacked. I had jacked up parents. My mom was special. But there's a point where we have to take ownership for our stuff. And there's a point where parents need to take ownership for their kids and stop blaming the dysfunction of your children on other things and other folks, and maybe take some ownership for maybe areas where your parenting wasn't right, or if there were health issues. I don't know if this little boy had some psychological stuff going on. We don't know. We don't know if he had a chemical imbalance. We don't know. There's a lot more to it, but people are going to see that video and they're going, yeah, COVID did it. COVID did it. That's why these kids need to go back to school. COVID killed their kid. Yeah, yeah, that's why the kid. We got to be careful what we putting in there out here. And I say that because we're blaming stuff for a lot of stuff. Right now, oh, these people out here, this disease. Okay, you want to be out here in the petri dish? Go on out here in the petri dish. But don't blame this disease for your son committing suicide. There's deeper reasons why people, and I've had family members who are suicidal. I've had friends that are suicidal. Some of it is chemical imbalances. Some of it is psychological issues. Some of it is childhood trauma. Some of them were military and it's PTSD. And we can look at things like PTSD. Now, for these workers that are in the hospital, that like that doctor who committed suicide, I'm not going to say COVID killed her. I think the stress of her job, I think because she was dealing in this time of the pandemic and the things that she saw, the atrocities that she saw, in conjunction and maybe even some of her own guilt she felt for patients she could not save or she had to turn away because they did not have the right amount of equipment. I get her depression. And that again goes to a psychological issue of which that person needs to talk to somebody to manage through their emotional issues. We all have struggles. Every last, and my heart goes out to anybody struggling with suicidal thoughts because honestly, I know that is a mental health struggle that ties to something more. But don't blame it on COVID 19. Deal with the fact that your son has some deep seated issues. Already telling me when you're taking your remote or the keyboard and you're slamming it against the um, the computer screen and breaking your computer screen 2 times in a row, that's some deep seated anger stuff going on. You got some anger, major anger stuff going on, y'all. And y'all know I ain't even trying to be cute. I ain't worried about that. I'm fat as can be. Um, that's some major anger stuff you got going on. And that is the thing that needs to be addressed. That what should have been dealt with is like, son, where is this coming from? See, a lot of parents, y'all send these kids to school and you don't eat together, you don't know your child. I remember back in the day when I was growing up and girls would come home pregnant and be 9 months pregnant and the mama didn't know this because you ain't interacting with your child. How is it that you can't tell your daughter's belly done grown? Back in the day, when I'm a child of wedlock, my grandma knew. I don't care. My mom was a fat kid. Your belly big or something ain't right. You walk in that house, they knew they children, and something ain't right. Some of this that's going on right now with us being home, especially parents, I really believe this is a good time for the Lord, for you and the Lord and your spouse to get to know your kids. I was watching Jake's and he did something with his children, and he was doing. I ain't not married to a man, but it was actually a very good show because there was some more in it. Because a lot of times you can get some wisdom watching Jake's, and he did a show with his daughters and his son who's newly married, and they were talking about marriage. But in that, they started. The one daughter started talking about kids, and she said, "I have a new appreciation for teachers." See, a lot of people send kids to school, and I have educators in my family, and y'all think that teacher is y'all dang babysitter, which is just foul. So you send these bad, unruly, untrained children to school, and then you dare the teacher when she handles dealing with your bad behind child, she or he, and they check them, and then y'all got issues with the teacher. Your child is bad. They unruly. You ain't giving them no manners. That's kind of what's wrong with the generation of humans we got right now. And you then gonna blame, then be mad, want to jump the teacher because the teacher is like, no, no, Joe Bobby, you're not gonna come up in this class acting a plum ass fool. Excuse my French, I'm gonna go there, and I can't train my other students who want to learn. It's my mom was special. I ain't gonna lie on her. Was a mean lady, but you not the fool in school. My mom would come at that school and wear your butt out right at the school. The teacher call about any issue. She'll come in the school to the classroom, ask you in front of the class, in front of the teacher. There was no ifs, ands, and buts. But now we got parents who defend. I can tell y'all stories, but I ain't gonna go there because people know people that I know who have, and I got them in my family who've defended kids who've done some atrocious stuff or cover for their kids who do some atrocious stuff. And then you wonder why he in prison. You wonder why he or she is doing drugs because you ain't dealt with the issue. I had a friend of mine and a former friend, I ain't seen her in years. Her daughter got into some stuff and daughter had the nerve to call the cops. Cops came, oh, you can't whoop her. She said, really? Really? She said, let me explain something to you. You either take her with you now or I'll whoop her butt because you're going to come and get her later if I don't jump in her behind because she'll be a crazy ass person. Excuse my French, that's what she said. Quote, end quote. You know what the officer did? Ma'am, you have a nice day. Got in his car and drove off. Why? Because he knew she was telling him the truth. We can no longer. This is what's wrong right now with the world. That's why we got all these people who are weird and crazy walking up into capitals and stuff with guns. I'm like, who raised you? Who raised you? I know some people are like, I don't want to be political correct. And I understand. Some political correct, I get it. I'm over it as well. But there is something to being respectful of another person. And we're not raising human beings. We're raising kids who feel they're entitled to do and say whatever. And we got a group of people who doing and saying whatever. That's why they can walk into capitals and act a plumb fool on the street and jump on each other. It's some stuff going on right now in the world, and I know it's a spirit of things, and I know it's a sign of things. But take ownership. You know, God bless him. I'm sorry for his son, but COVID had nothing to do with your son hanging himself, however he hung himself. COVID had nothing to do with your son throwing a keyboard and breaking a monitor in the house. Something's going on in the rearing, and something's going on upstairs. And those are the things that you need to get to. You need to get to, son, what's going on? What's going on in your mind? What's going on in your head? That you become violent against an inanimate object. Talk to me. What's going on? And or get him to go see somebody. Because you didn't take any other action other than a conversation, and your child killed himself. You now got to place the blame somewhere other than taking ownership for yourself. My friend, that her ex-husband came in the house. She let the grandfather and the ex-husband in during this time, and the ex-husband has COVID. Now you got to quarantine for 14 days. She mad at the ex-husband. Like, whoa, 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 whoa. Why are you mad at him? Who opened the door? You knew he was coming to the house. You knew he was bringing his daddy. You could have stopped that all along. They've given you instructions. If they don't live in the house, don't bring it. If they're not essential, what's essential? You can talk to him across the phone. And the fact that he let his daddy come down on a petri dish plane from a state that is high in infections. My father was from Michigan. And he probably got it from daddy. Probably got it from something daddy brought in the house. I mean, he could have got it from him coming because daddy had been here like what, less than 14 days. Next thing you know, the ex husband is sick. So you don't let your daddy come down on a petri dish plane, come stay with you. Now you sick with COVID, and then you go visit your sons with your daddy, their grandfather, and take it in there and now expose them. Child by. Why are you mad at him? You need to be mad at you. We got to take ownership for the choices we make. Um, and you can't blame this disease for the fact your son hung himself. Again, my heart goes out to the man. I don't know what happened with his son. I don't know what mental or emotional issues the little baby was dealing with. But obviously, the first thing that tells me is when he threw the remote at the keyboard, whatever it was, to break the monitor. First monitor. And then you go in there, the second monitor is broke. And for this kid, it was so severe that he broke his monitor and he hung himself over a game? A game. That's the other problem. We got these kids sitting in front of computers too damn long. And that's the other thing. Sometimes they think hanging themselves is a game. They don't realize that's really life and it's really death. And it's sad. Like I said, God bless them. And I don't wish nothing bad on nobody. But y'all know my favorite word. Walk in some wisdom. Walk in wisdom. Um, and then my other issue lately, I had a trucker. Well, I'm gonna look at your comments here in a second. Let me say this other story real quick. So I was at work. Was it the other night? I've been off for a couple of days, so I go back tomorrow. And I had a trucker, veteran, really nice guy. He was actually a nice guy, but I could tell who his political affiliation was from the conversation, because they believe if that man says the sky is green, they're gonna go out there and look. The sky is green. It could be blue as can be, and they're gonna go right along with him. I told you, the man lied just like my daddy. Lie to lie. Um, but anyway, this guy, this truck driver, he's on the phone with me, and he tells me, I don't know how we got on the conversation of the virus, because I think I told him just be careful out there, appreciate what he's doing in this time. And, oh, we gonna be okay. This ain't nothing but like the flu. And they just telling y'all folks is dying of this. My dad died, and they say he died of COVID. He was 70 years old. And the coroner said he died of COVID, and he didn't die of COVID. When I looked at it, it said reason for death was, what did he man, God bless him. God bless this guy. The reason for the cause of death was, I forgot what he told me. Oh, heart attack. So I'm going to tell you, God bless them. God bless these babies, because some of them is clueless. Let me tell y'all a story. I used to hang with a lot of gay boys. Some of them who came down with HIV. HIV is an autoimmune deficiency syndrome or virus, okay? AIDS, that's what it is. If you get the AIDS virus, it compromises your immune system. So a lot of my buddies back in the day had gotten it because they was out there doing craziness. This man proceeds to tell me that um, his daddy died of COVID, but they said he died of COVID, but he didn't. He died of a heart attack. It's one of the truck drivers on the phone. I'm like, okay, that's craziness. What do you mean? And I forgot where he was at in the country. So he tells me this is what he died of, yada yada yada. So I said, okay. And he said, but he died of a heart attack. So if y'all don't understand, when they tell y'all people who are most susceptible because of underlying issues, what that means is that if you get the virus and you have heart issues, you have diabetes, you have The lady who just helped me at the healthcare place I go to, I have to do a virtual appointment with my doctor tomorrow. She has asthma. That we were talking about our underlying health issues, and I told her, she said, "Oh yeah, you got a lot." I said, "Yeah." I said, "So I try not to go in a petri dish except to go handle a bill. Tomorrow's bill day, so I'm gonna have to run, and I'm trying to do my doctor's appointment early in the morning, do my bills, and get my butt right back here to this house, get my shower, and get ready for work." So she gonna tell me we're talking about it. He gonna tell me that his daddy did not die, died of a heart attack. Basically, telling me the medical professionals are lying. Okay, because this is what they're being told by certain folks, and part of the what do I call it, the conspiracy theory people, and that he didn't die of it, and he died of a heart attack. Okay, he may have died of a heart attack, COVID related. So if a virus gets in and it weakens your immune system and other things that you have going underlying trigger, hello, you might die of a heart attack because your immune system was compromised. You might die of pneumonia because your lungs were compromised. But it's tied to maybe COVID that allowed your system to be brought low and for these other diseases or issues to come to the surface and kill you. I'm amazed at the mindset of people, um, and how they justify stuff. Now, don't get me wrong, there might be some conspiracy stuff, and there might be folks making this up, but there's too many people in too many damn countries, excuse my French, I'm going to go there, who have this disease. It exists. Now, there may be added agenda to it, but it exists. There may be people who want to use it for control issues, but it exists. Y'all almost done. And then we going in. I got to get some more dirt. I'm get more dirt tomorrow. I got one more pot, and then we're going to plant some more stuff. And we get more dirt tomorrow. Hallelujah, hallelujah. I've been meaning to get out here and do this, and it's done. Whew, whew. Y'all, hallelujah, hallelujah. All right, let me get y'all. We're going to go inside. Hold on, y'all. Whew. And I'll read comments if y'all still on here. Whew, whew, whew. That is some water. Okay, we getting there. Hold on. I don't know who all in here. I'll read comments in a minute. We need to take ownership for our stuff. And unfortunately, we got a lot of folks that don't take ownership for their stuff. Be right back. Let me get some paper towel. Whew, whew, whew. And yes, I'm about to wash the hell out of my hands as usual. Anytime I go in and out, I wash my hands. I ain't gonna be out there for a minute, so. Um, we got a lot of folks who don't take ownership for their children, for their life. You know, I can blame my mom, I can blame my father, and yes, there are reasons why I'm the way I am from my childhood. But there's a point where we gotta take ownership for our own shiznit, our own stuff. And there's a point where We looking to justify what doesn't make sense to us. We want to justify it. I want to justify, or maybe not even make my dad part of this. I don't want to admit, maybe because of my political views. Hold on. I don't want to admit, because of my political views, that daddy actually died of this because I believe XYZ person. So I'm going to justify it and make it so it fits in the context of what I'm trying to do. It's like an individual told us the other day that they're taking a drug that everybody else just said don't take that drug because it'll kill you because it causes heart issues and some other issues. But yet, this individual tells us he's taking it. So, we're going to get a whole bunch of individuals who are politically affiliated who don't either want to admit that old boy don't tell the truth all the time. My father's my father. And I have come to accept he's got some wisdom, but he's also got butthole personality. And I have come feeling ice cube tray. Oh, you know what? I forgot I got the headset off, y'all. Hold on. Hold on. I hope y'all forgot to repeat what I had to say. We got to take it. We got to take ownership. I do believe there are people who, unfortunately, are caught up in a political stance. I have a water filter pitcher I got from Amazon. I still buy bottled water too, but this makes it stretch. Got off Amazon for under 20 bucks. And it came with 3 months supply of filters. Hey Liz. Sorry, I took the headset off to wipe my face and to wet my hair to cool off. And totally forgot I had it off. Um, I'm gonna sit down in a minute, y'all. Gotta give me something to drink. I was outside. For those of you who aren't outside with me, we got one planter pot that's not planted. I'm gonna pick up some more dirt tomorrow. I don't know what I'm making for lunch. Decide what I'm gonna make for lunch. Um, bottled water. Thirsty. Ooh, popsicles. Popsicles, y'all. I love popsicles. There's a place here in Arizona, and you can go get the same popsicles that you get from the ice cream truck. It's your friend. Hold on, y'all. All right. We're going to go sit down. Hold on. I'm going to have to get that up because I think I threw past the thing. Let's go sit down at the desk. Hold on, y'all. We'll go to the desk. And then I can read comments. Ooh, let me switch shoes. Because of those little wood chips, I usually switch shoes when I go outside anyway. But the wood chips, they stick sometimes to the bottom of the shoe. So I wear one set of flip flops out in the back. And they still, I got to get in here and sweep the kitchen because I got a bunch of flip flops, wood chips in here. Okay. Hold on. Water. Agua. Agua. Thank you, Jesus. Whew. There we go. Hold on, y'all. All right. I'm back. Hold on. Sweat my butt off. Um, and I'm gonna end this here in a minute. But there's a whole bunch of people who I think They don't want to take accountability. And even though, like my father, him and Trump remind me very much of each other. Lie a lot and very narcissistic. Very much. I don't know what it is about building that male ego even to a lie. And will make up stuff to support their positions. My father does it all the time. He's my biological father. I get it. I realize he's who he is. However, I got to take ownership for me, even if I'm damaged, even if there were things they did as parents that weren't good or not actively parents. There's a point where we have to take responsibility of our life. If you're a parent and your child has certain behaviors, you are responsible for that child. You therefore need to take responsibility. When your child grows up and becomes an adult and they go a path and you had some hand in that because you didn't rear them properly, you weren't as stringent with them, don't go blame Sally Sue. I got a family member of mine. We have a relative who got into drugs. We have other relatives that's into drugs. You raised the kid. You kept them pretty much away from the family. And when they got older, they started hanging out with some of the family members. But they're most likely doing drugs from what we know in high school. Okay? Don't go and blame it's the cousin Bobo, it's the Uncle JoJo for the fact your kid is doing drugs. Your kid chose this. It's a rearing issue, and then there's a point where you did maybe the best you could do. Maybe that's the tools you had. And now you got to say, turn it over to God, and hopefully they work it out. You can't sit and keep blaming folks. You got to take responsibility where it's yours, and then forget forgiveness and move on, because there's nothing more you can do. Once what's done is done, it's done. There's nothing more you can do. Anyway, y'all, I ain't gonna be on here long. Let me see if there's any comments on here. Okay, Rochelle was in here. Oh, you're gonna be wearing a mask for a minute, Rochelle. Regina was in here. V. Griffith. Yeah, well, and that's V. Griffith hit something because V. Griffith is talking about people losing money. We'll talk about that in a minute. Oh, V. Griffith, you would have went there. Okay, I put the headset down, Liz. Okay, so I don't know who's in here, but I'm gonna deal with what V. Griffith said, and then I'm gonna get off of here because it's almost an hour, and I don't usually like to be on here too much. An hour, and I need to cool off. I might go take a shower. People committed suicide when the stock market. Hey, Danielle. My doctor called when you came on, so it froze everything. And then I came back on. V. Griffith brought up the fact that people sometimes will kill themselves because of the money. Okay, because they caught up in the stocks, they lost money. Bible tells us there where your treasures lie, your heart lies also. So if you in love with your money, if that's where your life is, that's where if that's what you think is life to you, then yeah, that person might commit suicide. And I don't mean to be heartless, but my attitude is we got to choose better treasures. There's more in this life than money. It's probably why I'm satisfied. A lot of people don't understand right now. I do still need a car. I'm getting ready to get a bed. I'm buying some furniture. I need to go get my stuff out of storage, which I'm right now really dealing with how I'm going to do that. I got to call around the companies and find out who is following COVID guidelines with the mask and stuff, and see who can. And then I'm gonna probably go ahead and pay somebody to go get my stuff out of storage and bring it in because I got my bookshelves, my entertainment unit. I got a whole nother laptop. I got a TV set. I got a bunch of stuff. I got to get out of storage. I got clothes. I got blankets. I got sheets. I got towels. Not to mention my kitchen stuff, which is important to me because I like to cook. I got all that. But where your treasures are, that's where your heart is. That's what's important to you. For some people, it's money. I'm going to use Grumpy Smurf as an example. He is about appearance. Everything on how he looks. So when I told him they were opening things up, and well, I understand the barbershops. How do you understand the barbershops? Well, you want to look nice because looks is everything to him. Don't matter about money. It's how you look, how you appear to other folks. If you, how I look to folks. I could be living in a shack, living in a rat hole, and that's something in our community we do a lot. We want to appear a certain way, but we drive right on up to a shack. Hey, Wendy, what's up? Um, you gotta really let's see what let me see what V. I'm gonna deal with that too. You gotta really find out where your treasures lie. It's like I don't have a lot right now, but I look at the blessing in what I do have. Even if I go get my stuff out of storage, which I do have a lot of crap in storage. I ain't gonna lie, I got only like I said, the only thing that's not in my storage unit is a bed and a couch. And actually, I'm ordering my bed. Will be here. I'll be ordering a bed tomorrow night. Tomorrow. I'll be ordering my bed tomorrow. That'll be here probably within the next 2 weeks. I'll have my bed and mattress in, and then my next purchase is gonna be a couch, and then I have some other things because I'm stuck at home right now. I'm not really going nowhere. The last thing is a car, but I need something to sit on. I needed to get a desk. I need to get a chair. Y'all see, I got the chair. Um, I recently did a thing on my Christian channel and said we got to get to a point where we realize the blessings that we are and be a blessing. So even though I don't have very much, I give to some organizations here that help a lot of our homeless areas out here and families that don't have. Because if I have to realize there before the grace of God go I. It could be me. And around me, there's a lot, even where I work, there's a lot of homeless. There was a homeless lady that would be out there from the time I got into work. And when I left, she'd be sleeping at the bus stop. She'd be at the bench at the park in the day, and then when I'd leave, she made the bus stop her bed. That's where she slept. And when my friend Regina was here, she parked the car one day and just went and talked to her. And the lady, you could tell there was mental issues, but and Regina sat and talked to her, and you found out a lot about her life. And she was just an ordinary person where life went south, and mentally she became broken. Some people don't stand up to the mental pressure depending on what they're. I really believe part of it is your faith walk. And so they do become broken. How many of us have been on the edge of just keeping our sanity in hardcore situations in this life? So like I said, my heart goes out to this man's son, but where he was placing the blame really, really got me. And my heart goes out to people who unfortunately you're gonna lose a lot of money, but then sometimes where your treasures are. Where's your treasures? If you realize money's but a thing, but you still breathing, you still maybe have a roof over your head, you might have enough money to go get something smaller. But people get so used to status that when they fall, they become depressed because I don't have the same status. Tell y'all a story. Then I'll get my butt off here. I was working at Wells Fargo, and there was I was on the sales side, and one of the people called in, and I was supposed to sell him something. So me and him got to talking because you could see that his account at one point he had money, and he started laughing. He says, "I know I'm probably coming up to you because I had a lot of money." The weird thing was he was here in Arizona, and where his address was showing, I was like, "Oh, this is how I got into it." I said, "Sir, fruit sickles, love these things. I don't know which one these are. Which one are these? Outshine. Um, I'm pissed because I get them from Costco, but they sold out. Anyway, him and I were talking, and he said, um, "I know you're seeing my account, and you're probably seeing that I had a lot of money at one point, but I don't have that money anymore." This man went on to tell me his story. He was a veteran or Marines. I remember that. When he got out the Marines, he had been very fortunate. He started a business here in Arizona, in Scottsdale. Now,
What you have to understand about the city of Scottsdale, Scottsdale I call Snotsdale. I lived in Scottsdale for a while, in the middle class area of Scottsdale, in an apartment because I couldn't afford a house. A lot of your houses in Scottsdale are going to be 500,000 plus. We're looking $500,000 homes and up. At the church I was at, we had a lot of the executives and lawyers and that lived in there. And I actually had taught a Bible study at one of the houses. I that was a multi-million dollar house we was in. The house was off the chain. And the area of Scottsdale we were in, and the gentleman, he was African American. His wife was a former educator. She died of cancer while I was there. One of the many deathbeds I went to when I was at that church. Um, really neat couple though, very neat couple. Arnold had been an executive for what's the name of that company? Honeywell. And when he executives, when they leave, they get a parachute. When he left, he got stock options, lots of enough that everything that when his wife came down with cancer, everything she needed was supplied financially by him because of the stock options that he had from Honeywell when his position was cut. He wasn't working. That tells you about how much money he left Honeywell with. He didn't have to work. And she was a retired school teacher. He didn't have money. Beautiful home. Gorgeous home. But Arnold was probably one of the most down to earth people I met. Trucker Bill's sister. Linda made six-figure income. Linda lived in a middle class neighborhood. She was probably one of the most down to earth sisters I'd ever met. She was an executive for a company called Sun American Securities, which is also known as AIG. Coolest sister ever. So down to earth, so real. When I house set for her when she was in Europe, and her dog, so forth. And you would think this lady would be balling. This laid back sister drove a Suzu Rodeo SUV, no Benz, no Mercedes, none of that. Just very down to earth people. It's not freezing on my end. I met a lot of people. Scott still has a lot of people, but mainly Anglo, but there were a few African Americans out there. This guy tells me from the Wells Fargo dude that he had it was a recreational vehicle business up in North Scottsdale. Okay, we'll be praying for your son. Okay, yeah, I'll put him on the prayer list. Send me his name via email, Wendy, and I'll put him on the prayer list. Um, this gentleman told me he had a recreational vehicle business up in North Scottsdale. When the market went south in 2009, 8 due to the housing market crash and everything went crazy, he started losing money. His business went under and he's tried to hang in there. He told me, he says, yeah, he says, it's funny who you find out, A, who your friends are during this time. That's facts. And then you find out, he said, who your friends are. He says, and you find out a lot of other things about people during this time. And you find out stuff about yourself. He said, I hung in there, ma'am, for as long as I could. He says, and the business folded. I couldn't pay my bills. I was a certain age. So now the only skill set he had was being an entrepreneur. He had no other skill set than the military. He went from this man who was going up into the Rockies, staying in Aspen, staying up in there, hanging out, making big money, six plus figure salaries, to being homeless overnight. He said it's amazing how fast everything happens. And those people that you call friends, it's amazing because then they were like, well, can't you do this? And Can't you do that? And I'm like, I'm 50. Nobody's going to hire me. He says you put in for jobs and then you don't. He had years of being out of the military and running his own business. He had no other skill set. He ended up in a homeless shelter. He ended up suicidal and ended up at the VA. He says, little did I know. In my eyes, I'm sitting on the phone trying not to cry listening to this man. He said, little did I know that what I did when I was 17 years old to join the military saved my life. He went to the VA down here in Phoenix, which the VA is right up from my house. I mean, literally, it's right up from my house. Regina's been telling me to put in for jobs up there because she could refer me in. But I, right now, really do not want to work in any government agency because the government getting ready to go through some stuff, in my opinion. I'm going to stick my butt right where I'm at for now. And especially work from home. I'm loving this. This right here is beautiful. I know my doctor, we're going to talk about blood pressure tomorrow and all that other stuff. It's going really good. So I turn around and he tells me that the VA got him a counselor. They got this man to where he got money. They got him on assistance. They helped him find an apartment. And that was the address that was right up from where I used to live, which is where he lived now. He said, I don't have a car. Me. He said, I ride the bus. He said, I got me a bicycle finally. He said, I'm scrimping with a little change I can to try to find me a little, maybe a little car, a little motorcycle. He's, at that time, he was in his late 50s, I think, when I talked to him. And I was in my late 40s. So he's probably in his 60s. He said, it's funny what you grateful for. People, some of y'all I know are probably going to go through not a lot of money right now, loss of jobs right now. You got to change some career choices. You might have to work. My cousin, Reggie, has been working years. Give me a second. And he's a year younger than me because we're all a year apart. He's one of my cousins. He raised all his kids. I'm proud of him as a black male. Very rare. uh, Not to knock all black males because there are some that will do it. Reggie raised all his kids on his own. He and some of the baby mamas had gotten into drugs, but when the mamas got too heavy, Reggie cleaned up and he ended up raising his kids and other men's kids, stepkids, on his own, and they call him dad. He's got a very big family that he raised on his own, and he's got some severe health issues. He's asthmatic, and he also has really bad irritable bowel syndrome. He had a colonoscopy bad. They recently took that out not that long ago, so he's back to, but he has really bad bowel syndrome. But Reggie was working for a bakery out here, and they did a lot of the breads and stuff to different restaurants, to um, resorts. Danielle, even Trucker Bill said he was homeless at one time, baby. Girl, we all been there. Girl, we all done been close to it. If keep it 100. Um, Trucker Bill told me that. I was like, whoa. But he told me, he said, Shannon, I'd have been homeless. He said, so you blessed. Because even once I had to walk away from my homes, I had places to stay. I could either stay with my father, I stayed with friends, or I rented a room. I did what I had to do when I got hit hard in the economy during the housing market crash. I had to walk away from properties. I mean, I was one of the people that was kind of semi-balling. I had inherited property. I luckily had sold that property, so some of my inherited property I sold. That was really what got me through during my trucking school time when I wasn't making that money. They were only paying 26 cents a mile back in the day at Swift. They were paying chump change. And they knew people were desperate, so they were taking advantage of it. But they're gonna probably do that again here in the near future. You remember you worked for Swift, Danielle Hick, you remember? Swift was paying chump change. You had to hustle just to make $500. And here's somebody I had made good money. I mean, like I said, I had come. I won't say I was six figure, but I had gotten up to 60 to 80,000 a year at one point in my corporate careers, and at different companies. I made good money, y'all. And that's the other thing, how we look at money. A lot of us, and I'm guilty. I don't sit here and talk about stuff and like I'm just talking about you like I ain't been through it. I don't do that. Some people we trying to ball. Like one of the kids at work is talking about bankruptcies and stuff. I still got to finish out a chapter 7 and clean that. That's my next. My After I get my bed, my little couch, that's my next move is to really prep that and maybe bring my other stuff in from storage. I'll get my lawyer paid off and get my chapter 7 done. I want to. Matter of fact, I'm gonna say y'all, if y'all got debt right now, get you a chapter 7 lawyer and wipe it out. Cause what's gonna come next? Honey, they gonna be doing whatever they can to siphon whatever money they can back into the federal government. Cause they gonna need to get all as much debt as you can. Watch it out. You need to go on and get it wiped out. Get it wiped out. If y'all lost jobs, go and talk to a chapter 7 lawyer. Go and get that wiped on out. I'm just gonna tell you like it are trick facts, and don't be ashamed of it. Donald Trump filed chapter 7 and chapter 13. All the people, big banks, and they had money, and they filed it just to clean up what they was doing, flossing. It is amazing what you grateful for, and it's amazing to me when you step back and fancy stuff don't impress me anymore. That's not for me. That's not what life is about anymore. I got some watches in here. I got some $400 and $500 watches in this apartment right now. I got some nice watches. I got some Invictas. I got a couple Invictas. I got a what's that? Oh my God, Diesels. We're talking about $300-400 watches. I got some nice watches. The men's watches, I like big face watches. And I was into a watch fetish. Now I haven't bought them lately. I need to go take them and get batteries for them. There's a place out there. I need to send them to Monty and have them take them to the watch doctor out there in Lubbock. Or when I come to get my stuff from Lubbock, I need to go take it out there because I love the watch doctor. I got some nice watches. One of them is when I fell and fractured my ankle. I'm missing some links. I got to get in touch with Invicta and get the links. It's probably the best one of them. It's a heavy watch, but the little thing that held the link in when I fell, one of the links popped loose and I didn't pick it up off the ground. I was too busy trying to hobble back into the truck to get over to the terminal to get to see a medical professional. But I'm grateful for different things now. Like going back out there sweating on that back patio. I sweat my butt off, but I had fun. I'm like, okay, it's relaxing to get out there and I'm be growing my own vegetables and be able to walk out in my little back patio. It's a rental. I know it's a rental, but it's peaceful. It's it's a little rental, but I got a little back patio, and it's funny what you're grateful for. I'm not about worrying about showboating. Danielle came down here, Danielle know what I tell Danielle. I say, girl, we ain't got much up in there right now. Everything's in storage. I ain't moving nothing out of storage. I'm sleeping on an air mattress. I've had money to kind of go do stuff, but I took care of other stuff. I took care of the debts. I owed some folks some money. Tried to start paying that back, and just trying to get established here. Riding the bus back and forth, taking Lyft back and forth. Um, I paid one storage unit to get stuff out and had to move that here. I still got to pay to get movers, and I'm estimating that's gonna cost me about $300-400. Okay, you feel me? And it's not about that, Wendy. It's really not. It's not about this really cool watch. It's not about any of that. Um, where your heart, the Bible says, where your heart lie, where your treasures, where your heart, if your treasures lie and your heart is there, there's a problem. Because if your heart is on materialistic things, those things will be gone tomorrow. You can't take them to the casket, but you can't take them to the other side of glory with you. You can't. You can't transition with them. They can glow in the casket with you, but you're gonna turn to ashes and dust. It ain't gonna have no effect, no meaning. It doesn't translate over into the spirit realm with you. It doesn't transfer over into the eternal life part with you. It doesn't. It's just this is materialistic. It's here today, gone tomorrow. And I don't really care like how people think. Like I'm sitting out there, y'all saw me. I'm looking just totally. I got my shirt. It's a 4X. It's too small. Well, it's a little 4X because I do got some 4Xs that fit. It's I got it was rolled up. I got my little house shorts on. This is my cleaning house around the house lounging shorts. I didn't really care what y'all think. I don't care what anybody on here think. I had somebody who was somebody made a really bad comment on an old video about me. I'm like, I don't really care what you think of me. I'm not trying to get with you, so I really don't care what you think of me. So I don't get caught up in that. If you come to this house right now, like I told us, I said, Danielle, we got an air mattress. We got this. What I got. That's all I got to work with. I only have a chair right now. You can sit on. I had my cooler from the truck. I said I ain't bought nothing out of storage. Now my storage unit, I have an entertainment unit. I have TV. I have electronics. I have an entertainment unit. I got speakers. I got a whole bunch of stuff. I don't have a couch. I don't have a bed because I didn't keep any soft furniture. I didn't keep anything having to do with the bedroom as far as like to sleep on and couches because I don't like storing those because in storage units you can get bugs. And soft furniture, they really tend to get up in there. And I didn't want to bring anything hard furniture I can deal with. Clothing you can wash, but you can't wash a couch and you can't wash a mattress. And then you have to what's the thing? You have to get them wrapped, shrink wrapped. I wouldn't. That's another expense. I didn't want to do any of that. So, and I knew I was possibly long-term storage because my goal was to drive, just put money inside. And I also needed a change. I'm happy I did do that because I did need a change. Now I'm because I'm now work from home. I do need to look at bringing stuff in this apartment. So because I'm home more. Also, I was only coming in here to sleep and work because I work 12-hour shifts. By the time really I would have 2.5 days off or 3.5 days off. I really didn't have a true 4 day three. So by the time you got up, you did a few things, I'm back to work again. Now I'm at home. I want home to be a little more homey. So I'm gonna. The bed is coming next, and then I'm looking at couches, and then I really want to get a good chair. I don't know if I want to do a recliner. I like a chair that you sit in and you have a ottoman. So I want to try to find something like that. I had a very nice couch set that I have gotten off Craigslist from this nurse, and her husband was a cop. And they really, we paid them just to get that down their stairs. That thing was heavy as hell. And it was really comfortable, but I didn't bring it with me. I was like, yeah, I'm not keeping it this go round. It is. You have to if we listen to what people go through, Liz, and we look at life and we start looking at I used this in a Christian video I did a couple days back. One of the ladies at my old church, she grew up poor. Her name is Ma Burt. Her husband recently died. Her son died. My Bird is wealthy. Her husband was a major investor. He was an engineer, and she was an educator here in Phoenix. She actually was even a superintendent of schools here in Phoenix. African American lady, African American family. Family bad. They got wings of hospitals named after them in Michigan and different states. Um, just very very well educated black family. Doctors, lawyers, very well educated family. Both sides, her side and her husband's side. Her husband's side more so her side, her sister worked for my grandfather for a while. So my Bert had a saying. We all went to church together. My Bert said this was a saying she used to say in Bible study. I thought I had it bad because I had no shoes until I met the man who had no feet. We always look at our situation as bad, but sometimes we don't understand somebody can have it worse than us. And unfortunately, in the government we have now, I think we have a leadership that's very insensitive to human issues. Um, that's a plus and a negative for him, but I think that it. I get why, in some cases, God put him where he's at. I get it, and like I said, it's a plus and a negative for him, but I get it. We need to be, as humans, less tied to materialism and tied to being better than what we were yesterday. And I believe that takes a spiritual relationship. To me, it does because God helps us analyze ourselves. That's me. Um, and I believe that the times that we're in right now, like a lot of these people who want to get back, oh, I want to get back to normal. Well, first of all, I never think the world was normal. Normally, been normal since the garden. And we got a lot of, this is not ever going to get back to the same type of normal. We're going to call it normal. What it is you want to get back to the routine so you keep your mind off of your issues. And also, some people's identity is caught up in their positions, their job positions, their money, their status. That's where they're caught up in, that's who they are. They don't have any identity in themselves. So, like, Danielle has met me. Okay, so me and Danielle, we really didn't meet when she referred me to that trucking company. It was her sister in Lubbock who went to my dad's church, who then told her, "Hey, I know one of the ministers at our church. His daughter is here and she needs a job, and she has a CDL." And that's how I got over to the trucking company in Lubbock. Then Danielle and I met. And when I went to Danielle's house, she cool people. She said, "This is my crib." Girl, I ain't judging you. Matter of fact, Danielle remind me a lot of my father's people. A lot of my father's folks, they just home. They Oklahoma, Texas. I'm gonna say ninjas. Okay, black folk. They just down home, country greens, cornbread. That's kind of me and Danielle. That's kind of what I got. I was like, "Girl, you remind me of my people." They remind me of my father's side. Okay, when you go to their house, that you went to my grandma's house, she'd be like, "I got some apple Betty, I got some dumplings, I got some greens in the freezer. You hungry? Grandma hook you up." And if I brought a friend with me, my grandma fed both of us. You didn't come in our house and not eat. Mm-mm. Even my mama, who crazy, you did not come to our house and we not feed you. If you was hungry, we always had food to share. We were homey. We were like a homey family. And we wasn't anything. Well, my mother had her issues. There are some things that I took from her. One, we weren't the kind of family that had, like, you got, like, my grandmother, she had China. Both my grandmothers had China. And one of them, I think her China came from the Tiffany family. So my grandmother was the help for the old lady. We call her old lady Miss Tiffany, Tiffany Jewelers, my mother's mother. She was like the cook and stuff for them. Um, she did that. I don't know if that, I think that came after she got sick and then she got better because they had a soul food restaurant here. And then she got better. And I think she ended up working for old lady Miss Tiffany for a while. And then I know she worked as a teacher's assistant at the school I was at in preschool. That was a predominantly Latino school. So I grew up with mainly Latino kids um, in my early childhood. And then my grandmother, Monty's mom, Grumpy Smurf, his mom worked at what they call the towers, which was in the hood, and that was for a lot of older white people who were retired or they didn't, and they were, it was like a semi-assisted care living place, but it was like they called them the towers. It was like apartments for old people, and it was older white people who had a little bit of money, but it was in the hood. So my grandmother would walk there every day, and she cleaned and cooked for them. That was Monty's mom. So these two women, both of them back in the day established you had a china cabinet and then you had the dishes. Okay. So my grandmother had um, china, both of them. Well, my mom, one of her things was we don't just have plates and stuff that you don't use because you've used them, what, 20 times out of your lifetime or never, just to look at a plate that you can eat off of. No, we gonna use stuff. So that's something. I'm a person that if it's in the house, we use it. So I will never buy something like the people you go in the house and you sit on the plastic where your treasures are. That's insanity. You're not living life. You idolizing a furniture piece of couch to keep it looking new. It's craziness. There's a point where we can't. You don't idolize stuff. You use it until it can't be used no more, and then you move on and get something else. That's that to me is home. Where you can sit in a house. I mean, I'll sit on this cooler. You can sit on the floor. You can sit on the couch. You can put your feet up. Now, there's certain things. Putting your feet up on people's coffee table, that to me is rude. But if I had an ottoman, put your feet up on that ottoman. Kick back. As long as you ain't filthy or nasty. And if you are, go take a shower, clean up, put some fresh clothes on, put your feet up on the ottoman. If you're gonna lay on the couch, lay on the couch. If we lay on the couch, I mean, those are things I don't really, Granted, you're not gonna just go into my house and do that, but if you become close to me and comfortable, like Joe, no, we used to have a couch. You can come lay on the couch, fold his feet up on the couch. Go, Joe, fold up in a little almost semi. I don't know how he did it. He'd sit up and he put his feet like he's sitting at a campsite, and we'd watch a movie. I'd be in the chair. Next thing you know, he's dozed off on the couch like this in his little Yoda pose. And then I got my feet up on the ottoman in the chair, and I'm snoring. And then we wake up 4 hours later, and we like, I don't know what happened in that movie, and we laugh. I mean, that to me is home. And when you invite people into your home, and that's when I went to Danielle's place, kind of the same way. Danielle was like, "This is okay. I sit over here in the corner. You find you need anything? I'm good." That is how you treat people. You should be to where you can do that. But if you have stuff that is so, I don't know, it's like you go into people's home and it's not really a home, it's a showroom. That means that's where the treasures are. So like my father, when he moved out of his apartment, the first thing he moved was his Stacey Adams shoes and the suits and all this other stuff. He moved so slowly they threw, because he gave him a timeline. When he didn't come back, they just threw all his stuff on the street, his dishes, any cookware, any other stuff, because he took the most valuable possessions with him. His valuable possessions to him were his suits and his shoes. Oh, and some toy cars. He's a grown little boy. These folks out here who are in love with that money, them stocks and bonds, and don't believe and sit up there and can't say, you know what, I'm breathing. Praise God. I ain't on the street. Praise God. Or if I had to move out my place, I got a family member or a place I can stay for cheap and I can still pay rent. No, it ain't the palace that I was living in, but it's the palace I got now. This is my palace. It, y'all, here, let me show y'all. That's the living room. Okay. Oh, that's that. Y'all can't see my finger. That right there is for the garden. Neem oil. It helps with insects on your plants. That's the living room. That's the hallway. See, that's where I was talking about the little wood chips coming in. I just got that shelf unit I got to organize, but I threw stuff on the shelf. Over there, those are bottles. I'm be using some of those bottles to grow plants in and grow sprouts because I like sprouts. But instead of me buying my sprouts they're going up. They used to be $1.99. Now I can grow them at home in 5 days and buy me a pound bag of the seeds and use like a tablespoon or whatever. Wet them down, soak them, put them in there, and they'll grow a whole bottle of sprouts for next to nothing. And all I gotta do is wash the bottle out, put water in it every few days, cover it up in a dark spot, and it grows me some sprouts. Like alfalfa sprouts that you put on a sandwich and in a salad. But I'm paying $3 for this little container to go bad. Oh, I'm gonna get some seeds and do it myself. I used to grow them with his kids. Um, be ordering them from Amazon tonight. Matter of fact, when I order the bed, I'm blessed. During this time, I haven't been hungry. During this time, I've had water. I didn't have to stand in line for toilet paper. My toilet paper gets delivered to my door. When I order my groceries, my toilet paper from Costco is delivered to my door. One of my neighbors like, "Hey, you need some help?" No, I don't need no help. I'm good. I got this. Don't stay over there. Cause they was looking. All my neighbors are pretty much Latino, so they was over here looking. I'm gonna have to get off here because my battery's getting low. But they was looking, cause everything water was delivered to my door. Hold on, let me do it again. Oh, y'all. Hold on, I'm gonna do it again. You see them cases of water? It was delivered to my door. that was delivered to my door. Yes, it was. I ain't want it for nothing. So I'm blessed. I mean, right now you don't see any furniture in here, other than the desk that I'm sitting at is here. I got the chair. Danielle got me that little folding chair that I was sitting outside on. Thank you, Danielle. Um, Ooh, I need to go check on that credit. I gotta go check on the lamps because I ordered. Danielle left me some money to order lamps, so we ordered one and they didn't deliver a set to her. So I need to go check because Amazon was supposed to put a credit in my Amazon account. I'll go check on that. Check on that, Danielle. If it's in there, I'll go ahead and get them ordered. I just thought about that. I totally forgot. You gotta remind me sometimes, girl. I'm getting old. I just thought about it. Um, but that folding chair in there, um, yeah, I'm okay. And so like even I'm in on air mattress, but the air mattress time is done. We done with the air mattress. I'm getting to bed. And I said, okay, I've been searching, and I'm really frugal. That's the other thing. After you done been through some stuff, I don't just spend frivolously anymore. I am very frugal. I compare shop. Like the mattress I'm ordering is coming from Walmart, and the bed is coming from the frame is coming from Amazon. I got a platform frame for $70 that'll hold my big butt. We got it holds up to I think 700 or 800 pounds is what the steel frame holds, something like that. 500 to 700, something like that. Okay, one of them because I looked at all different kinds. The mattress I was looking for a 10-inch mattress, and I found a 12-inch mattress firm because I like really firm mattresses on Amazon for 250. Yeah, email it to me or text me, Danielle. Text it to me and I'll put it in Amazon. And I saw the house. And Danielle, congrats to Danielle. She just got her home. She got one of the manufactured mobile homes. Big house, girl. I didn't realize it was gonna be that big. Beautiful though. And they just moved it to her lot. So, you know, we look and we just become grateful. And sometimes, like she had plans, she bought a piece of property. Things didn't work out with how she would have had to put the property, so she had to then go to a manufactured home park. Okay, long as they gave her some land to put her home on and it ain't expensive, God bless her. She got somewhere to live, put her head, rest, and is blessed to have a home, especially in this hour, you know. And so you got to look, and be happy for other people's blessings. That's the other thing I've learned in life. I see people who aren't happy for people's blessings, some people who relish in people's falls. We can't be that way. We can't. It's just like these people out here. God bless them. These folks out here. Well, I'm showing up. I want to go back, and honestly, okay, let them go back. I feel sorry for them because I think some of it is foolishness. Right now, you're gonna see the virus. I think go down a little bit because of the heat, because apparently it doesn't withstand in heat well. Don't mean it's gone, but when winter hits and when it starts cooling off, I believe this thing gonna rear its head like a booger bear if they don't have a cure for it. You got to be careful. Now, I'm gonna share this with you, and then I gotta get off here because my battery's dying. There was a man that I talked to, a trucker, and he, God bless him, he gonna tell me that he knew that there was a cure for the virus, and the cure was hydrochloroquine and zithromycin or some erythromycin or something else, and that the cure already existed and it was gonna come out, and yada 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 yada. Now I don't know how he had this inside knowledge. And he's the same one that told me his daddy died of a heart attack and all. Stop following the conspiracy theories. If you ain't a doctor, a medical professional, all you can do is go with the facts that we have. It's a virus. It exists. And if you get it bad enough, it can kill you. Even if you don't get it, if you get it and it makes you sick, just listening to the horror stories of what people have been through who've been sick. Danielle's sister recouped from it. We've had some people on our channel here who have recouped from it. I know people right now who are living and going through it. I know people who've died from it. This is a booger bear. And don't be so easily deceived to follow foolishness. Just because somebody telling you they taking a drug that everybody else told ain't working, don't have any impact. Folks done died while we was trying to use it to help them with COVID-19. So no, we don't recommend this except for in a hospital setting and only if necessary. And even in the hospital setting, they saying this drug does not work, but yet you got somebody talking about they taking it as a preventative. Okay, just because they're at the top of the food chain for the country does not mean that you should do what they do. Just because Joe Bob jumped off the cliff don't mean I'm going to jump off the cliff with him. Just because Joe Bob drinks a tablespoon of bleach every day don't mean I'm going to drink a tablespoon of bleach with him. I'm sorry. Walk in wisdom. Walk in wisdom. Anyway, y'all, let me read what else it said. Girl, as soon as this passes, I gotta come out there to Lubbock and get my stuff from Grumpy Smurf's house. Me and Joe's supposed to take a trip out there, and I told him when I do go out there, I'm gonna take them to some of the restaurants if they still around, because everybody and their mama gonna get hit from this. Some restaurants ain't gonna be open. I'm so depressed right now. Our Sweet Tomatoes is closed down for good. And I used to love me some Sweet Tomatoes, the best salad bar in town, man. I would go there just to get a salad just before I go to work and eat on it all night long. Get the soup, the salad, some bread, and a little dessert. Yeah, man, I'm just, when I heard they were going to have to close their doors, I was like, but also I think this is another way the Lord is dealing with us about our diet, too. How many of us was eating out all the time? I ate out a lot. And I mean, I've ordered some food in, but even that, I'm cautious about where I get my food from. Like we went over here when I went to go get my groceries over here one time. I went over to get my money orders and some groceries. I stopped by, we got a little Mexican place over here, Roberto's. Not the one me and you went to, Danielle. Those people are pretty good. Roberto's is like, a little quickie Mexican place. Love their shrimp tacos. Best shrimp tacos I've ever had. But when I got to the window, what got me, I went ahead and took the food because I know how to disinfect the food and heat it up. Because you heat it up, that should kill the virus because it can't stand a certain temperature, especially you nuke it. Wipe down the outer. But what the first two things that he did, he didn't have a mask on, he had no gloves on, and you handed me my food. Won't be back. Won't be back till this is over with. Won't be back until there's a virus. Won't be doing any business with you anymore. Other places I've ordered from, when I go in there, if I've had to go pick it up, there's a little pizza place across the street here. I can either walk over or they'll deliver. When I've gone in there, they're wearing gloves. They weren't wearing masks initially, but they were wearing gloves. And I think now, last time I was in there, I think I saw someone with the mask on. So they got the mask, they got the gloves, and the pizzas have to be fire roasted, so they're going in a fire. So I'm not too worried about that. But they had gloves on, and that to me was key because on cardboard the virus lasts for up to 3 days. 3 days? 24 hours. 24 hours. 3 days on metal, 3 days on plastic. So I appreciated that. There's an Asian place I order from. I love their food. I've ordered from them, and I know they came out with a whole this place right here. They're here in Arizona. Thai Recipe Bistro, phenomenal. Only thing they did tick me off. Um, oh, they gave me some coupons in here. Okay, I didn't realize they gave me some coupons in here. Okay, well let's dine in and take out. So I have to do that one day when I'm over there. Um, they didn't. They left something out of my order. That's the only thing. Other than that, love them dearly. Let me go through here, read real quick. You said I'd get a whooping. Yeah, you would get a whooping. Put your feet up. Ooh, Liz, that's good. If you got a house note in California under 1,000 a month, you balling. In Cali, you balling, sis. Yeah, VA. If you're a veteran, definitely go and delete your benefits. I work with a bunch of veterans, and one of them, I guess, he was hurt in the war, and he just got his mental health benefits. He went 100%, so he's getting some extra benefits. And sometimes you have to just keep pursuing them, the VA. So you might not get them right away, but you may have to keep pursuing them. Hold on, I'm trying to go through here real quick. Okay, mango. It was mango I used in my tacos. I think that's what you're talking about, Wendy. I cut up mango. I guess you could try pineapple. Pineapple would be good too, but I like mango. Yeah, definitely. Veggie growing is something I definitely recommend in this hour and this time. And real quick, because I know my phone is probably gonna die. On jobs, because I think it was V Griffiths. Is it V Griffith that mentioned the job? If you looking for jobs, your jobs, like my cousin, I got off the subject. He's now working at Dollar Tree, Dollar General, one of those, Family Dollar, and that's what he's doing to make a living because his company was not an essential industry. So he's working right now, mask on, registers at a Dollar General. You know, me and him, he's you got to do what you got to do. Now he lives at home with his mom right now because of his health issues. He's been home, and like I said, Reggie is in his. I'm 50, getting ready to be 52 in June, and Reggie will be. Our birthdays are all like boom, boom, boom. Reggie will be 51. So it's his brother. No, Reggie's younger. His brother's 53. I'm 52. Reggie's gonna be 51. Ooh, Florida. Well, good luck with Florida. I don't want nothing to do with Florida. My best friend live in Florida. Florida expensive. Florida expensive, and they got a whole bunch of political drama. I mean, everywhere does, but Florida's expensive, and they got them hurricanes. I'm cool on the hurricanes. Anyway, y'all, I'm gonna have to get off here because my phone is about to die from Alaska. Oh, Alaska would be pretty. Oh, I used to wanna. I used to wanna be in Alaska. I love that show, Northern Exposure. That's what I wanted to. I love that freaking show, Northern Exposure. Matter of fact, they're getting ready to come up with a new DVD set. As soon as that bad boy is released, I'm sending Amazon my 40 whatever dollars and getting a whole DVD set. I love Northern Exposure. That was my show. I love that. That was one of my favorite TV series. Love Northern Exposure. Oh, yeah, because Alaska, I think you either have to be military or have worked in the oil fields to make good money in Alaska. And yeah, but anyway, I don't get too far because I'm getting ready. Y'all, my battery's gonna die. I hope y'all be blessed. We'll probably do another live sometime next week because I work tomorrow and I got I work tomorrow. I got my doctor's virtual doctor appointment tomorrow. So I do a virtual appointment with my doctor, which I'm gonna talk to her because I want to get prepared in case my company decides they're gonna try to force us back into office in June. I'm gonna talk to her about getting a medical, whatever I need medically. Let her know I may be reaching out to her to get something written. My blood pressure down, my stress levels down. Also, I have. So here's my health issues in Monty's side of the family, they might die. In Monty's side of the family, we have a blood clotting disorder. It skips people. I'm one of the people that got it. I've had DVTs, I've had pulmonary embolisms, and God bless me because PEs you normally don't live from. PE means a blood clot in the lung. My great aunt had a blood clot in her head, lost vision in one eye. It runs in our family, and it's like in Monty's side, every other person. Some of them start early, like in high school. I did not have mine until age 29, so I did not know I had the disorder. Luckily enough, I did grow up around Monty's people, so I knew what caused the issue. I don't know. I think they came up with a new term called Factor 5. I don't know if that's what I am. I just know that my blood is predisposed for clotting and it runs in our family. Okay. Um, I've had the first time I ended up with it, I had pneumonia, and that's why when these people out here talking about this virus, I'm like, pneumonia ain't no joke. Look, you get no argument. If this cuts off, it's because my battery died. Pneumonia ain't no joke. I'm not jacking with pneumonia. I've been there, done that. I've been to where you can't breathe and where you grabbing for air. I've been like that. Yo. I've been on that doorstep, and it is no fun. Um, then on top of it, once I found out about the blood clotting disorder, I found out that I had a 14, no, excuse me, it was a 14 centimeter mass that grew to a 17 centimeter mass in my stomach and female area. So I had to go through a hysterectomy. I went through some, I've been through some stuff. I'm now borderline diabetic. On top of borderline diabetic, the lung is still damaged from the clots. I'll call you after I'm done, Danielle. My lung is still damaged from the clots. It's not as bad as it is, but I know that's some of my breathing and then my weight. That's another thing we got to work on. and then my high blood pressure. So I got too many underlying health issues right now. It's going to take time to get them. Getting the weight off is going to help with the diabetes, the blood pressure. But the clotting disorder, it don't matter if I'm 100 pounds. That is a blood family genetic disorder that's not going nowhere. Um, and I manage that with a blood thinner that I have been on since I was age 29 and I'm 51, so over 20 years I have been on this blood thinner. And that is the blood thinner I take, I use, and has done me well. Same milligrams. As a matter of fact, when I talked to the medical group today, the lady went through all my meds with me, and some of them I knew by heart. I was like, let me just look at that bottle. But the other ones, I said I've been on warfarin for 20 years. And me and that lady had the best conversation. And she said she's asthmatic and she's worked from home. So right now I'm gonna talk to them because honestly that works better for me. Traveling to that office, I have to travel by bus. That puts me in the petri dish. I'm not traveling by bus to be in the petri dish. So I'm gonna have to work with them, my boss, HR, whoever we gotta talk to, we're gonna talk to. Because I think they talking about transitioning people in June, which I don't understand. You can work from home. Why even risk your employees to come back up in there so people can feel important? No, or just be. Some people want to be in the office. They losing their mind. Oh, I can't wait to see y'all. Please, I can wait to see y'all. Y'all, most of them don't even care for me anyway, because I don't participate in all the other conversations and stuff. And it's not that I think they're bad people. I think that's just who they are. Be who you are. I'm just not going to participate. I ain't talking about y'all behind your back in the sense of negative stuff because I know they talk about you. I saw them do it. I talk about one of the guys that smells, talk about each other, then some of the comments, political conversations that are just totally inappropriate. The whole piece of shiznit conversation that I never even went to management with it. I didn't. Um, it just I didn't. I told my best friend. I told Joe. And Joe was like, "You need." And I was like, "Why?" Because is that going to change who that person is? No. So what I can do is just show who I am, and prayerfully, you might take a different approach or look at somebody who's African American and realize we're not all the same. And or what your perception is, your perception of what a black person is, because maybe you didn't grow up around us, is wrong. And I had that happen in my early days. I worked with a guy who was a Mormon guy. We got to be very good friends. He was and gay guy. He was gay and Mormon. Had been a Mormon missionary, and me and him got to good friends. And that man stood on my steps and he helped me move something. And he cried and said, "Shan, I am so sorry for how I misjudged you. I'd never worked with anybody who was a black woman, and I had grown up Mormon. This is how what we were taught. This is." And he says, and I realized I was wrong. He said, and we got to be very good friends. Matter of fact, he was HIV positive. I'm pretty sure he's dead now because last time I saw him, I could tell his AIDS had started kicking in because he had lost a lot of weight. And we were very, matter of fact, he worked for the EEOC for a while. Shocked he didn't know my aunt because I had an aunt who worked for the EEOC. Um, but he worked there, him and his partner had worked for the EEOC. And Dean and I, we had met, we worked at Best Western together, and we got to be very close friends, and he was just a sweet man. But again, sometimes you have to hold your tongue and let people see the content of your character, which is a Martin Luther King thing. That's why the non-violent, peaceful protest was to show people, a group of people who weren't out here fighting and doing all this stuff. And just because of your own misconceptions or your own prejudices that or lies or so I try to show somebody different even in the midst of some things that have been said to me and done in that office. um, so, it is what it is. And that's what I says. So right now for me, work from home works good. It works for them and it works for me. And I just want to really do my core job. I'm not trying to be caught up in all the other madness and drama. I'm not even trying to climb the corporate ladder there. I'm good. Just pay me what I do for my services that I do now. I don't need nothing else. And I don't really want anything else because of the treatment that I got while I walked in that door, because it tells me the higher I go, the worse it would get. And I don't have the energy. I'm 51 years old. I don't have the energy for all that corporate crap and the racial stuff. I just want to come in, do my job, and go home. I don't care really what you think. Please try to keep those to yourself and don't go too far outside the realm. The piece of shiznit comment was over the top. And when he would come in, this gentleman would look down at me like that. And I saw what he was doing. And I just sat back quiet and I would come home and pray about it. Just pray. Just keep praying. Because what I know, and I know how my God works, people like that, be careful because every dog got its day. And everything you do, what you sow, you reap. It will come back. And it will come back to bite you in the butt. I ain't got to say nothing. Sometimes it just let people go and do what they do. And all of a sudden it'll circle around. And I've seen it. I've seen stuff happen, and you sit there and you go, ooh, wee. Me and my best friend were talking about it. She talked about stuff that she saw people do, and it came back in corporate environments that will eventually. I told her, what you sow, you reap. You can best believe we may not always be there to see it, but it will happen. Anyway, y'all, 2 and 2, peace. Danielle, I'll call you in a minute. Let me put my phone on a charger. Y'all be blessed. We'll do another live maybe sometime next week.